Fight Week here in Los Angeles. Thank you so much, and we will see you very soon.
Man, that was a little uncomfortable to watch. No bullshit. All jokes aside, I was getting a little concerned for Luis Ortiz there. Like, what the hell happened? But no bullshit, though. I do think it's the hair. Let's go full screen. We're going to talk after it, talk about the card. Let's go full screen. Thanks for watching. Please take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. Look, this is not a good sign. Now he dries a bone. He need to go to the back and hydrate and take his pills. I bet you he got a whole, like, all them vitamins and shit. Fish oil. That shit. What's that other shit? Centrum. I'm sorry. Centrum Silver. That shit. Bro. No, but seriously, though. How old do you really think he is? He's listed at, what, 44? Let me see what he listed at. He's listed at 43. But really, bro, I think when he came over here, he probably was like 35. And they asked him, okay, what do you want your age to be? And he was like, I'm 23. See? He just went overboard with it. You know, my theory is Cubans, when they come over, they do like a 3 to 5 year like age gap from what their real age is. So if somebody like Rigo, when he came over when he was like 35, no, 33 or something like that, but he was really like 38. Frank Martin, he's supposed, not Frank Martin, Frank Sanchez, he's supposed to be like 30, but you go look at the pictures. You tell me if that man's 30 or not. But if I was to really say, like, for example, we talked about Erislandy Lara yesterday, him possibly fighting Keith Thurman. He's been around for eternity. Like, remember, Erislandy Lara was around when you were a little boy. I was in college back in 2003 when he had fought like Carlos Molina and Paul Williams. Like those guys. He was on Knockout Kings. Like, which one was he on? It was like 1 or 2 before they turned into Fight Night on PS1. Ortiz ain't no 45. He listed as at 43. So he's at least, I'm going to say he's probably 52. Like in Cubano years and real Cubano years. And you never see, Donnell pointed it out earlier, you never see, let's run it back one more time. You never see Cuban fighters with facial hair. You know why? Because they try to hide the stubble, because you can't hide the grays on your face. Like, look at that dye job. Like, all the way down to the root. That shit probably full gray. And that, look, that's what's cooking him. That's what's radiating the heat. You can clearly see. It's the hair. It's radiating the heat. Look, and you see Andy. He the fat one. Cool as cucumber. But, you know, us Mexicans, you know, we really do well in the heat unless you're asthmatic like me. Like, it's just in our blood. So, you know, we can be out there in, you know, 100-something degrees and we just be chilling, fool. Anyway, we got to talk about the undercard. If I was to rate the undercard, and remember, I'm a low-level, like, degenerate boxing fan, so I'll watch anything. I was almost up this morning to watch Nikita Tszyu, Tim Tszyu's brother, take on Ben Horn, the journeyman brother of Jeff Horn. So, you know, it's certain fights that I'll be like, yo, I really like this fight. But then other people be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? That bullshit-ass fight. Don't nobody want to see that shit. But yeah, let's go look at the undercard. By the way, take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We stream on Tuesdays, Thursday, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then I stream on the main events of major fights. So, for example, this weekend, I'm going to be streaming during the main event of Joet Gonzalez versus Isaac Dogbay on ESPN+. You dig? And I stream major press conferences. So this is a pay-per-view. We don't know the price yet. It's going to be on September the 4th in the LA Staples Center. I'm not calling it the crypto shit. No, it's the Staples Center. It's always going to be the Staples Center to me. So they're fighting on September the 4th. That's a Sunday in the Staples Center on Fox pay-per-view. All right. What else? What else we missing? The undercard. It's going to feature the return of
How dare you?
What's going on? Thank you, El Snow Cake. El Show Cake. My bad. Definitely the hair, no cap, for real, for real. Yeah, that shit look hot. That don't look like a hot ass hairstyle. Like no bullshit. Like, and you can see that's where the sweat is originating. It's originating from the scalp. So to me, that points to a wig. That man probably bald from age. But anyway, move on. Isaac Cruz is returning. The WBC, remember, ordered him and Ryan Garcia to fight, but we knew that wasn't going to happen because of politics. 23-2-1 with 16 KOs. He is taking on, he beat up old man Gamboa. Ill. I covered that fight. It was no reason that he should have been fighting Gamboa. And now he's fighting Eduardo Ramirez, 27-2-3 with 12 KOs. I've covered him multiple times. I don't remember, probably Lee Selby. I know I covered that fight. But he's been around. And he's basically a 126-pounder. So, in my opinion, this is a bullshit fight. This is just a showcase fight. This is the only fight in reality that I'm not interested in on the undercard. Isaac Cruz versus Eduardo Ramirez is supposed to be the co-feature or chief support, whatever you want to call it. It ain't no co-feature, but no bullshit. Like, this is the type of shit that pisses me off. And it makes me feel like they're really trying to save him for the possibility of Tank Davis versus Cruz too. Now, personally, it would be a good fight to see it again, but I'm not ready, you know, like for Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz, especially when there's so many better fights that they can fight if they just fought, you know, other people. But we're still keeping our fingers crossed that we're going to see Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight this winter. But, you know, I did a whole stream on that yesterday. And in fact, I edited the video and I'm going to be uploading it after this. So if you want to hear my thoughts on Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, and if it's going to happen or not. All right, who else? I like this fight. Former world champion, Andres Rio Corrales, Rayo, Venezuela, 23 years old, potential Tank Davis opponent in the future. But right now, he's still a little green. It's not time yet. You know, if they do Tank Davis, you know, at 135 one day, I don't think it's going to be any time in the next year or so. He just ain't there yet, you know? He's only been pro since 2018. And he hasn't, and none of these fights, you know, Austin Dulé, Francisco Vargas, you know, and even Corrales is, I'm going to count that as a credible win, but he don't have like a big fight that I can look at and be like, yo, he can compete with the big guys. Not yet. He's still a prospect, you know, but, you know, it's a nice little resume to build, you know, fighting a former world champion, 26-4 with 10 KOs, Southpaw. Remember, lost Chris Colbert, Darius Miller, Alberto Machado. But nice little step-up fight. I'm guessing, is that the fight's going to open up the pay-per-view? Probably. That's probably going to be the pay-per-view opener. Venezuela versus Corrales. And then you have the return of Abner Maris. Now, I have an issue with this because I don't trust how he tried to come back before. Go look up the story. He had some eye issues that he knew about, and he was kind of trying to force a fight. And I believe it was his wife that intervened and was like, no, like, you ain't going out there to fight. Like, motherfucker, then you be blind for the rest of your life. And you know how fighters can be sometimes. Even Errol Spence, you know, tried to go through with the Manny Pacquiao fight. And, you know, he got caught by the commission. 31-3-1 with 15 KOs. Last fight was in 2018 against Leo Santa Cruz. You know, that was a rematch that just really came a little bit too late. Jesus Cuellar, you know, the other Leo Santa Cruz fight back in 2015. And then you have this guy, 25-4 with 12 KOs. You've seen him fight before. He fought Leo Santa Cruz. He fought the guy, Eduardo Ramirez, that Isaac Cruz is fighting. That goes to tell you right there You know, Isaac Cruz is in a fight basically just to pad his record, you know, just to get him on the card. Chris Avalos, Ruben Tamayo. I always remember him because people were calling him Tomato when Gary Russell was on his way up, and people was like, he keep fighting tomatoes before he fought Loma. So overall, you know, I mean, here's the thing. Let's look at the card like it is. Now, I love the main event. I got Andy Ruiz, by the way. Not by stoppage, but decision. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Andy Ruiz drops Luis Ortiz. And we've all seen that Luis Ortiz can be stopped. But nothing of Andy Ruiz has really shown us that he has the power, you know, like a Deontay Wilder to put, you know, Luis Ortiz to sleep. I mean, Luis Ortiz was fucked up. Like, he got, you know, like, knocked the fuck out. Like, not just he, you know, he got put down. Isaac Cruz versus Ramirez. I expect a KO by Isaac Cruz. Not really interested in that fight. Rayo versus Corrales. I like that joint. That's the best fight of the undercard to me. And then you're looking at Abner Maris. The appeal about that fight is to see how he's going to look in there. And you want to see him take his sunglasses off. You know, is he going to look all old and sluggish? You know, I mean, he's been off for 4 years, so he's going to be a little bit rusty. He's going to be a little bit rusty. But what division is this going to be at? Is this going to be at 135? 130. It's going to be at 130 probably. But I wonder what weight this is going to be. I won't be surprised if it's a catch weight like 132, you know, or some shit like that. Don't be surprised. But yeah, if I was to rate the undercard, I'm going to rate the undercard, and I'm a harsh critic. I'm going to rate the undercard. It's not a B. That's not a B undercard. It's not, I don't look at this undercard and be like, ooh, they put that on there? Ooh. Ooh. You know? I'm going to rate this undercard a C. Not a C minus, not a C plus. Just a C. Fight that sticks out to me is Venezuela versus Corrales. Second, you know, I want to see how Abner Maris looks. And then Isaac Cruz is just there because he's Isaac Cruz. Overall, if I'm going to rate the card overall, I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. And it's just because I'm so excited about the main event. For example, you got Isaac Cruz in A side taking on like a inside or a K side. Venezuela Corrales, that's, you know, like a side taking on like a C side. And then you have Abner Maris in the showcase fight in A side taking on like a G side. You know, so the real only competitive fight I see on here, you know, from the outs from you know, before they get into the ring is Rayo versus Corrales. You know, so there you go. It's going to be on pay-per-view, PBC on Fox pay-per-view. I'm going to be interested to see what kind of shoulder content they're going to put out for this fight. I hope that Luis Ortiz is okay because he was going through some shit up there. I was like getting really uncomfortable and concerned because, you know, it's been well known that he passed out before, you know, not even joking, from the diabetic shit, not diabetic, the high blood pressure.
In Los Angeles. Thank you so much, and we will see you very soon.
At his age, he could have the diabetes too. I'm glad they got him a water. You know, he like, man, it's so hot, shit. And maybe next time he'll think about wearing a hat and, you know, not putting that dense ass wig on his head and that deep root dye job. Maybe like, you know, it causes the internal temperatures to rise up. Because what concerns me is that, as I said earlier, he was sweating his ass off, but now he dry. So he probably expelled all of his, he needs some sodium. He's not no young man no more. He's not a young man no more. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to go over some more of Joet Gonzalez versus Isaac Dogboe fight week. I'm not sure what the other topics are going to be for tomorrow's show. Usually I do about 3 or 4 topics. Danny Garcia had a media workout today in Philly. I didn't go because, for one, I am asthmatic and I can't be out there in that heat, especially in no hot-ass gym. You know, so unfortunately, like, you know, I couldn't go. No bullshit. Yeah, somebody gave him a towel and a water. Shut up, Jump Tube. His arms are tingling. He's having issues. Yo, that's a real symptom, too. Yo, shut up. That's fucked up. He got to go home and rest all day. Probably need an Epsom salt bath and shit. Get it back into his pores. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Leave a like before you go. And, yeah, we stream during all major press conferences and media events. And we have a set streaming schedule of Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, 6 p.m. And I stream during the main events of major fights. I'll be streaming this Saturday during Joet Gonzalez versus Isaac Dogboe on ESPN+. Next week is a big week with Danny Garcia taking on Jose Benavidez. Adam Kownacki returns. And Gary Antuanne Russell taking on Rances Barthelemy. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys later. Please subscribe.